Chapter 4, Self-Responsibility in Marriage. Lesson 4.1, Defining Self-Responsibility in Relationships. What is self-responsibility in a relationship? Self-responsibility in a relationship is that aha moment when you realize, oh wait, I'm in charge of my own emotions. It's about understanding that while your partner can be your biggest cheerleader, they're not responsible for how you feel or how you react when things get tricky. Taking charge of your emotional state allows you to navigate your relationship with maturity and accountability, and hopefully fewer dramatic sighs. In this lesson, we'll dive into how practicing self-responsibility can be a total game changer. Spoiler alert, it involves cutting back on the blame game, increasing empathy, and deepening your connection with your partner. Sounds good, right? Key aspects of self-responsibility. Ownership of emotions. Self-responsibility means recognizing that your feelings belong to you. Like your favorite hoodie, no one else can claim them. While your partner's actions might trigger certain emotions, you're ultimately responsible for managing how you feel. Taking action. It's easy to point fingers and blame your partner when things go sideways, but self-responsibility means stepping up and addressing your own feelings, rather than expecting your partner to swoop in like a relationship superhero and fix everything. Healthy boundaries. When you embrace self-responsibility, you avoid the classic relationship trap of becoming overly dependent on your partner for everything. This helps you both maintain your individuality, which is crucial for a healthy dynamic. Mutual respect. When both partners take responsibility for their actions and emotions, it fosters a deeper level of respect. You're not waiting around for validation or happiness from each other. You're making it happen for yourselves. Power couple. Challenges of embracing self-responsibility. Sure, being all emotionally responsible sounds great in theory, but it comes with some challenges. Here are the usual suspects. Blame. It's just so easy to fall into the habit of blaming your partner for your frustrations, like when they leave dishes right next to the dishwasher. But constantly blaming them keeps you from owning your feelings and taking responsibility. Dependence. Many of us walk into relationships expecting our partner to be a one-stop shop for all our happiness. Newsflash, that's not their job, and it creates a messy dynamic where you rely on each other for validation. Fear of vulnerability. Taking ownership of your emotions means you've got to be vulnerable. It's not always fun to admit you have insecurities or areas where you need to grow, but hey, that's where the magic happens. How to practice self-responsibility in your relationship. Ready to take the plunge into self-responsibility? Here are some tips to help you get started. 1. Reflect on your emotions. The next time you're feeling irritated or upset, pause for a second. Ask yourself, what am I really feeling and why? This reflection can give you some serious insight into what's going on beneath the surface. 2. Communicate with I statements. Instead of launching into a you always attack, try framing things with I statements. It's much easier to say, I feel frustrated when, and avoid an unnecessary blame spiral. 3. Set personal boundaries. Identify and maintain boundaries that help protect your emotional health. Whether it's carving out time for self-care or knowing when to ask for space, boundaries keep you grounded. 4. Take action. If there's something that needs to change in the relationship, don't wait for your partner to read your mind. Take the initiative. Have the conversation. Make the change. And lead by example. 5. Practice empathy. Remember, just as you're responsible for your emotions, your partner is responsible for theirs. Try to put yourself in their shoes and recognize that they're dealing with their own emotional roller coaster too. Reflection exercise. Take a few minutes to reflect on how self-responsibility shows up in your relationship. Ask yourself, do you often catch yourself blaming your partner for your unhappiness or frustrations? How can you take more responsibility for your emotions and actions? What personal boundaries do you need to set to protect your emotional well-being? By practicing self-responsibility, you'll create a healthier, more balanced relationship where both you and your partner feel empowered, respected, and maybe even a little less dramatic. All right, that wraps up this lesson. Before we jump into the next one, I just want to quickly remind you about our premium course and the amazing value it offers. Hope you're getting a lot out of the course so far. If you're the kind of person who likes to take notes and dive deeper into the material, you'll love the 68-page ebook that comes with the premium course. It's designed to help you follow along with the audio, complete exercises, and revisit key sections whenever you need. Grab your copy by purchasing the premium course at freemarriagecourse.com. That's freemarriagecourse.com. Now back to the course. Lesson 4.2, How to Take Responsibility for Your Happiness. Understanding happiness as a personal responsibility. Let's get one thing straight. Your happiness is your job, not your partner's. Sure, they can add some sprinkles to your sundae, but you're the one responsible for the ice cream. Many of us fall into the trap of expecting our partner to meet all of our emotional needs, which, let's be honest, is a one-way ticket to frustration and unrealistic expectations. Taking responsibility for your happiness means finding contentment in your own life, because depending on your partner to keep you happy 24/7 is like expecting a pizza to stay warm forever. Spoiler alert, it won't. Key principles of self-responsibility for happiness. Internal focus. Real happiness isn't about what your partner does or doesn't do. It's all about what's going on in your own mind. Instead of waiting for them to magically solve your problems, focus on your own mindset, habits, and choices to keep the happiness rolling. Self-care. Want to feel good? Start with the basics. Exercise, eat well, meditate, hang out with friends, and do things that bring you joy. Taking care of yourself is a surefire way to keep your happiness tank full. Personal growth. Happiness is a byproduct of growing into your best self. This means checking in with yourself regularly. What do you need, want, and desire? And how can you work toward becoming the best version of you? Challenges of taking responsibility for your happiness. Sure, taking ownership of your happiness sounds awesome, but it's not all rainbows and butterflies. There are some challenges like dependence on external factors. It's easy to think your partner's behavior or external circumstances control your happiness. Spoiler, they don't. This mindset can leave you feeling powerless when things don't go your way. Fear of self-reflection. The truth is, taking responsibility means you've got to do some self-reflection. Yes, it can get uncomfortable, especially when you realize some things in your life aren't all sunshine and daisies. Resisting change. Personal growth usually means change, and change is hard. But if you want to be happier long-term, embracing change is a must. How to take responsibility for your happiness. Ready to take charge of your happiness? Here are some practical steps to help you own it. 1. Cultivate self-awareness. Get curious about yourself. What makes you happy? What drains you? Once you figure that out, make a conscious effort to invite more joy into your life, whether it's a hobby, an activity, or simply taking a walk. 2. Practice gratitude. Shift your mindset from what's missing to what's already abundant in your life. It's easy to get stuck on the negatives, but focusing on the positives will keep your cup full. Bonus, it's contagious. 3. Invest in personal growth. Make a habit of working on you. Set goals, pursue interests, or engage in activities that promote self-care. When you invest in yourself, happiness follows. 4. Communicate your needs. While your happiness is your responsibility, your partner can definitely play a supporting role. Be clear about what you need emotionally and work together to create an environment that nurtures both of your happiness. 5. Let go of control. You can't control your partner's every move, and why would you want to? Focus on what you can control. Your thoughts, your actions, your reactions. It's way less stressful and a lot more effective. Reflection exercise. Time to check in with yourself. Ask these questions to see how you're doing with owning your happiness. What activities or experiences bring you happiness outside of your relationship? Are you taking responsibility for your own happiness or relying on your partner to fill your emotional cup? What steps can you take to invest in your personal growth and well-being? Taking responsibility for your happiness is like finding the secret sauce to life. It leads to a more fulfilling, balanced existence and, bonus, a healthier, happier relationship too. Lesson 4.3. Understanding responsibility to versus responsibility for your partner. the difference between responsibility to and responsibility for. In relationships, there's a big difference between being responsible to your partner and being responsible for your partner. Getting this distinction down is crucial for creating a dynamic where both of you feel respected, empowered, and still have the space to be your own person. Because let's face it, nobody wants to feel like they're babysitting their partner's emotions. Responsibility to. This is the good stuff. Being responsible to your partner means showing up, being emotionally available, and generally being a supportive human being. It's about caring for each other while maintaining mutual respect. Responsibility for. This is where it gets tricky. When you start feeling responsible for your partner's emotions, actions, or overall happiness, you've crossed into dangerous territory. This can lead to one person taking on way too much and the other becoming dependent, and that's a recipe for imbalance. Understanding the difference between the two lets both partners keep their independence while still being there for each other. It's all about balance, not becoming someone's emotional life coach. Challenges of being responsible for feeling like you're responsible for your partner's happiness can be exhausting, and not in a good, I just ran a marathon way. More like, I'm carrying this emotional backpack full of bricks way. Here's why this happens. Emotional burden. If you're constantly trying to keep your partner happy or manage their emotions, you'll eventually feel like you're carrying a huge emotional burden. Cue resentment and burnout. Codependency. When you take on responsibility for your partner's happiness, it can lead to codependency, where neither of you can function without constant reassurance and validation. Fun times. Loss of autonomy. If you're always focusing on your partner's well-being, you might lose sight of your own. Before you know it, your independence has gone on vacation, and it's not sending postcards. How to maintain healthy responsibility in your relationship. Luckily, you can avoid the emotional weightlifting and codependency with a few practical strategies. Here's how to keep that healthy balance. 1. Set clear boundaries. Boundaries are your best friend. They help you both maintain independence while still being supportive. Define what's yours to carry emotionally and what's your partner's. 2. Focus on mutual support. You're not there to fix your partner's feelings. Think of yourself more as their emotional cheerleader. Offer support, but don't try to manage their emotions. 3. Encourage independence. Healthy relationships thrive when both people have their own lives. Cheer your partner on as they pursue hobbies and goals, and don't forget to nurture your own. 4. Communicate openly. If you feel like you're taking on too much, say so. Honest conversations about boundaries and emotional responsibility can work wonders. 5. Recognize your limits. You're not a superhero unless you secretly are, in which case, cool. You can't fix every problem or control how your partner feels. Know your limits and focus on being supportive without trying to take on everything. Reflection exercise. Take a breather and think about the balance of responsibility in your relationship. Ask yourself, do you ever feel like you're carrying your partner's emotional backpack? How can you promote a healthy mix of support and independence? Are there places in your relationship where you need to set firmer boundaries? By understanding the difference between being responsible to and for your partner, you'll build a relationship that's supportive, balanced, and way less exhausting. All right, that wraps up this lesson. Before we jump into the next one, I just want to quickly remind you about our premium course and the amazing value it offers. Got a burning question about your relationship that's specific to your situation? With the premium course, you can submit up to 5 personal questions and receive customized answers tailored to your needs. It's like having a personal coach in your back pocket. Get the premium course today at freemarriagecourse.com. That's freemarriagecourse.com. Now, back to the course. Section 4.4, Building Emotional Resilience. What is emotional resilience? Emotional resilience is basically your relationship's ability to take a punch and bounce back, Rocky style. It's the skill of adapting to stress, challenges, and emotional bumps in the road without letting them wreck your emotional connection. It's all about having a solid emotional foundation that keeps you steady, even when life decides to throw a curveball, or 5. In this section, we'll dive into how building emotional resilience can make your relationship stronger and give you the tools to handle the ups, downs, and those what just happened moments life throws your way. Key aspects of emotional resilience. Adaptability. Resilient people are like emotional ninjas. They adjust to change without completely losing it. Instead of getting stuck in stress, they roll with the punches and figure out a new plan. Emotional regulation. It's not about pretending tough emotions don't exist. It's about handling them like a pro. Instead of letting anger or frustration take the wheel, resilient people manage their emotions and keep the drama to a minimum. Optimism and hope. Even when the going gets tough, resilient folks hang on to that things will get better mindset. They don't lose hope, even when the situation feels like a mess. Problem-solving skills. Resilience means you don't just sit around waiting for a magic solution. You put on your problem-solving hat and tackle challenges with a can-do attitude. Solution-oriented thinking for the win. Challenges to building emotional resilience. Let's be real. Building emotional resilience doesn't happen overnight. It takes time, practice, and sometimes a lot of deep breathing. Here are a few common roadblocks. Fear of vulnerability. Facing tough emotions head-on can feel like jumping into the deep end of a cold pool. It's uncomfortable and scary to be open with yourself and your partner about your feelings, but it's necessary. Difficulty managing stress. When you're stressed, it's easy to let your emotions take control and react impulsively. Learning how to stay calm and not freak out takes practice, but it's worth it. Negative thought patterns. Getting stuck in everything is awful thinking can make resilience feel like an uphill battle. Breaking free of those thoughts is crucial to bouncing back with a positive outlook. How to build emotional resilience in your relationship. Building emotional resilience is a journey, but here's the good news. It's totally doable, one step at a time. Here's how you and your partner can start flexing those emotional muscles. 1. Develop self-awareness. Start paying attention to how you react in stressful situations. Do you get defensive, shut down, or fly off the handle? Knowing your emotional triggers helps you keep your cool next time. 2. Practice mindfulness. Incorporate mindfulness into your daily routine, whether it's meditation, deep breathing, or just pausing before you react. It helps you stay in the moment and respond with more clarity than "Gah!" 3. Reframe negative thoughts. Catch yourself when you're spiraling into negative thinking. Instead of, "This is terrible," try, "Okay, this isn't ideal, but what can I do about it?" Resilience is all about focusing on solutions, not the mess. 4. Communicate effectively. Emotional resilience requires clear, honest communication. Share how you're feeling and what you need without turning it into a blame game. And listen to your partner with empathy. Bonus points for patience. 5. Seek support. Don't go it alone. Ask for help when you need it. Whether it's leaning on a therapist, a good friend, or your partner, reaching out can help you process emotions and strengthen your resilience. Reflection exercise. Take a few minutes to think about your current level of emotional resilience. Ask yourself, how do you usually react to stress or conflict in your relationship? What strategies could help you manage tough emotions better? How can you and your partner team up to build emotional resilience in your relationship? By building emotional resilience, you and your partner can tackle life's inevitable challenges like a team, stronger, more confident, and way less rattled when the next curveball comes your way. So that's it for Chapter 4. Now you know all about self-responsibility and why it's crucial to a successful relationship. Next up, Chapter 5, building fun, unity, and friendship. See you there.